What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to create this profile card using HTML and CSS only. As you can see, there's an image there, there's a button, follow button, learn more about me. So all these we are going to create using HTML and CSS only. So let me head to my VS Code and then we are going to create this project. So I've created two files, one index.html and I've linked it with my CSS file, style.css. So let us start. And also I have downloaded some images. I will put a link in the description, and we have several images in this image folder, and we are going to use these images in our project. So you can get the images using the link that I've provided down below in the description. So let us start. So first and foremost, to create the container where it will hold our background image. So dot container. Then after container, we are going to put in another div now for our card. So dot card. So acha tuanze. So let me style my container. So I'm going to come to my CSS. Hapa I've put the default padding 0, margin 0, box sizing, border box. These are just some of the default settings in CSS. So let us start styling our container. So with 100%. Our container, our background will take 100% of our width, then height 100 VH. That means 100 viewport height. It will occupy the entire, depending on the size of the screen you're using, it will occupy 100% of it. Then we're going to say our background. Now our background, we are going to use our background URL, and our URL is in images. Now in that folder, the picture is called background.png. So let me save, and then we continue. Then background size, we say cover, background position center, and background position center. So this is how it looks when I've saved background position center. Okay, so this is how it looks. Then we're going to style our card now. Now inside our card, now that orange card, the background will be orange obviously. Now it will have 3 images. The first image, it will be on the menu, that menu icon there. Then I'll just copy paste these. I'll give it a class called menu, and then I'm going to copy paste these. I don't want to type all the time. Then this other one, it will be not the profile picture, and then this other image, it will be the settings icon. So settings icon. So let me save. So that's how they look right there. Okay, so from the parent container, which is this, I'm going to say display flex. I want all these contents to be at the center of my page, so I'm going to display flex, then justify content center, then align item center. Okay, so far so good. Now let's style our card. Control C and come in a CSS. Then we're going to say background. We're going to give it a background color called tomato. Then we're going to give it a padding of 30 pixels. And then we're going to give it smooth edges, so border radius, let's say 10 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Then we're going to style now our menu class. Now this menu icon and these setting icons, we're going to style it. So we're going to display them as absolute, and if we're going to display those icons as absolute, we have to display this card as relative. So equal a reference on this card. So position relative. So if you put that relative, now our icons, we can position them absolute. So let us start by styling this menu. So Control C. So dot menu, then position absolute. Don't worry how it looks like that. Then since you're going to style the menu, you can put comma then dot settings, because you're going to style them at the same time. So let me change these class names. So for the profile picture, I'm going to give it a class of profile, and this other one I'm going to give it a class name of settings. Okay, so that's how they look. Yeah, so menu dot settings. Okay, so ukiweka hii comma inamaanisha and, it's like you're styling two elements at the same time. So dot menu, I'm styling this class of menu, and I'm also at the same time styling this class called settings, of which ni settings hapa sasa. So position absolute, then top we're going to say 10 pixels. Yeah, 10 pixels. Then size, we're going to reduce the width, then we say 20 pixels. Okay, that's too small, you can say 30 pixels. Okay, something like that. So we can now style them individually. Now dot menu, nataka isonge on my left side. So dot menu, I'm going to say left, something like 10 pixels. Yeah, something like that, 10 pixels. And then this other one of these other settings, dot settings, I want it to right, I'm going to say right 10 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to reduce the size of our image. Our image is too big. So to reduce the size, since tumepatia the class name profile, we're going to copy paste profile, and then we're going to come here. Now we say dot profile, we give it a width, let's say 150 pixels. 150 pixels. Okay, so kila kitu ime reduce in size. We can come here to our card and we can increase the size. We can say maybe the width to be something like 300 pixels. 300 pixels. Ama 500. Let's say 500 pixels. Okay, 500 pixels. Then we want everything to be in the center. So we are going to say text align center. Text align center. Okay, sasa. Now let's come here to our profile again. Now we want it to be circular, so we'll say border radius 50%. 50% it makes it circle, and then we're going to give it a border of, let's say, 5 pixels, solid, not solid, then white. Okay, that's how it has a border. We are going to give it a padding, so ndo kuwe na space between the border and the image. Padding, let's say, of 3 pixels. Okay, that's okay, that's fine. Then we're going to come to our HTML file to tuongeze some contents here. We're going to add a h3 element, inamaanisha heading, in the size ya h3. So we're going to give them a name, Alan James. Then we're going to add a p element. P stands for paragraph element. Then we're going to say software developer at Safaricom. At Safaricom Kenya. Okay, so far so good. Then after that we're going to add this social icons. So to create another div for social icons. So dot social icons. So now a div it's a block level element. If it's a block level element, it'll come hapa chini. We have inline elements and block level elements. So a div it's a block level element. It'll come chini ya this content. Occupy all the width. So social icons. Now we've created a div called social icons, and here we'll add our images for our social icons. So images, we have Instagram. So let me just copy paste this. We have Instagram and Telegram. So let me just copy paste this. So if you download that file in the description, it has all these icons, don't worry. So this is Instagram, then Telegram. Telegram is here. Then the other one, Dribble. So let me save. So this is our icons look like. And then after adding our icons, we can come down here and we can add our button. Now our button type is equals to button. So button, and then the name is follow, so your button inaitwa follow. So I'm going to click save. So that's our button there. Then after adding our button, we can add our footer. So dot footer. Now our footer, we're going to add a p element. Then want to know more about me. So that's the name, want to know more about me. Then tutaongeza another image, yeah, that icon. So img, images, then the arrow icon. Okay, so let me save. So that's how it looks like. So let us style our these contents. So I'm going to come back to my CSS, and then first and foremost we are going to style these Alan James, this name and the p element. So dot card. So let me copy paste this. So dot card, then h3. I'm going to say color, or let me just come here, card, and then I say here color white. Okay, so everything is in the white color. So in this h3 I just want margin top at least isonge chini. Unaona hii Alan James imekaribia this something hapa. So margin top, I'm going to say something like 10 pixels. Okay, songe chini. Then margin bottom, at least something like 5 pixels. Margin bottom 5 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Then we're going to style our social icons. So I'm going to come here, then copy paste this class name, social icons. So nitakam semi dot social icons image, img space image. So we're going to give those images a width of, let's say something like 20 pixels or 25 pixels. Okay, then we're going to give it some margin. So a margin top and bottom to be 30 pixels, left and right to be something like 5 pixels. Okay, so far so good. 5 pixels. And yeah, so now we style our button. So dot card, and then our button, we're going to give it a padding of 15 pixels top and bottom, then 50 pixels left and right. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Then we're going to say borders none, don't want it to have any border. Then outline none. Then we're going to give it some smooth edges, so border radius, let's say 50 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Now we style our footer. We give it a background white, background color white. Okay, then the color inside, now that p element, so color inside to be gray. So gray is something like hash 999. Okay, so there's one to know more about me. Okay, it's gray. And then I want this footer to be, you know, ikave space ya orange na hapa chini, unaona na huku. So I'm going to say margin. So margin I'm going to use the inverse. Sasa, for example, like margin left, I'm going to say negative 50 pixels. Okay, now that's too many. Let's say negative 25 pixels. Okay, so negative 30 pixels. Yeah, something like that. So negative 30 ndo inatoshea mpaka hapo. So margin right also negative 30 pixels. Margin right negative 30 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Then margin bottom also negative, let's say negative 50 pixels. Okay, so far so good. Okay, and then I'm going to give our footer some height. Let's say 100 pixels, 150 pixels. Okay, so far so good. For our button, I'm going to give it a background white. Background color is white. And then I'm going to give it the font now color to be tomato. Okay, so far so good. And then the font size, at least ikuwe kubwa kidogo. So font size, large. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. So for our button, I'm also going to put a box shadow. So box shadow, at least kukuwe na some shadow hapa chini. So box. Sorry. So box shadow, not box sizing, sorry. Box shadow. 0 for the for the x-axis, then 5 pixels for the y-axis, then 5 pixels for blur, then 5 pixels for spread, then the color tomato. Okay, now that's too many. Let me remove that spread. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so then I want this one to be in the center. This one to know more about me, I want it to be on the center. So nitakama hapo kwa footer and then I display flex, then align item center, then justify content center, then flex direction column, Okay, so far so good. So nilikuwa nataka kuweka hiyo hapo in the center. So far so good. Then we can style our image now. So our footer, then the image. Now this icon hapa, the img. So we'll say the width to be something like 25 pixels. And then the margin top, at least itosonge chini, so 10 pixels. Okay, so and then the cursor to be pointer. Okay, so far so good. And then I'm going to put now our button also cursor pointer, and then these our social media links cursor pointer. So social icons now here cursor pointer, then our button cursor pointer, cursor pointer. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to for our button, I'm also going to give it an negative margin. The margin button, I'm going to give it a negative so that you overlap na this footer. Sasa, so and also pia I can give this on a margin top ya negative. So margin top, let's say negative 10 pixels, at least the overlap. Sasa, and then our button, I'm going to give it a margin bottom, let's say something like negative 10 pixels. Okay, so tunaona ime overlap hapo juu ya hii stuff. Okay, so far so good. So that is how we create, you can add cursor pointer for these icons here. So unaweza kuja hapa, where is it, hapa kwa menu and settings, you can just say cursor pointer. Yeah, so this is our profile card. As you can see, everything looks nice, everything looks okay. If you want to add other functionalities such as uploading an image, you can watch a video I created on how to upload an image using JavaScript. So I hope this video is beneficial to you. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.